Hi everyone, welcome to the first edition of the Augie Volleyball Weekly Update. Hopefully we can make it a weekly thing. Ms. Jane Gibbs, head coach of the Augsburg Volleyball team, is nice enough to join us. Jane, thank you so much.
No problem, thank you.
We're really glad you could join us. Your first year here, so let's first introduce you to the Augsburg fan base out there. Player at St. Thomas, two-time All-American, MIAC Player of the Year in 2003, and your resume speaks for itself. 97-31 as a player with St. Thomas. You take over a Luther squad that had won 6 games the previous 2 years, and you come in and you go, no big deal, you go 60-42 your 3 years there, turning them around and getting them to their first ever national title berth and national championship berth in 2009. So what do you think, from your perspective, you do is the key to winning? I mean, whether it be a player, whether it be a coach, I mean, you just have a winning pedigree. What do you think that's from?
As a player, I mean, I was very fortunate to grow up with some great coaching and surrounded by, from Lakeville High School, great coaching there. It's, the head coach is still there. Through great club programs, I've had just different coaches to teach me things, just how to compete, how to win, how to care about the people around you so that you're working together and they work for you too as a setter. With your hitters around you, you want them to know that if they miss up your hit, that you're going to be able to give them that next ball right away. So kind of learning how to build some relationships, which I think is the key to any program. And then going in, to Luther, and I think it starts with knowing that when I went to Luther to interview that I had a great place to recruit to, a great school, great people already in place, and they just needed to be pushed a little bit and to figure out what we want as a group. And so when I started to interview here at Augsburg, I saw a lot of the same things. I think great administration here. The school is awesome. I mean, it's a school that I think is a very unique opportunity for high school students to come into this big city but a small campus. And then I met the girls, and they already were on that track of, hey, we want to be better, we want to be on the top of the conference, we want to do what you ask for us. So it helps to have great people around you, and I have some great assistants. Laura Hagerly is my head assistant, and she was with me 1 year at Luther and is a great player also. A great coach, great outside hitter coach, and Leah Ashburn's my middle coach, and she played at Southwest Minnesota State, also in a very successful program. So you bring in these people that know how to win, know how to teach, know how to compete, and then really put those those blocks into your team, like, hey, we're good enough to do this, and you guys are talented enough, so we just have to put the work behind it.
Luther won 6 games in the 2 years before you were there. You really led a turnaround, and the coach before you here at Augsburg, Jessica Reinhardt, kind of did the same thing. Consistent improvements every year leading up to that playoff berth last year. So to follow up on her success, what was the first thing you came in here and did to ensure that Augsburg would get back to that spot?
Well, I think in my time Augsburg lost a significant class, their senior class. I mean, there's a starting setter, a starting middle, another starting middle, a starting libero. All those positions were huge players on the court are graduating or left off the program. So the number one thing is to bring in 4 very quality incoming freshmen that were able to contribute on the court right away, and also just to our program. The other parts of that was just to bond with those seniors, because it's hard to lose your coach your senior year in college, and we got to know each other, and they understood that I care about them, and that that I'm willing to work for them as well and what they want to get out of their senior year. So they bonded with those freshmen and the rest of the underclassmen to say, this is where we're going. We're not going to take a break in this, even though we did lose all of these great players. And it's unique. There are really 16 girls a part of the program that are completely bought in and working for one common goal, whether they're on the court or not.
You talk about buying in, and I've talked to a few of your players, and they really, have talked very highly of you. They think that you're a great coach, and really things are starting to mesh at the right time. Have you seen improvements as far as that goes over the last 11 games? You're 7-4, struggling a little bit before this recent stretch, but it seems like the team is really starting to work, as exactly that, a team. It seems like, you leading them, it's really working out well when it matters.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about my philosophy is that I believe that you have to earn your position every single day. So we compete in practice, and there are days that players come in and push, for positions. So the first half of the season, we did play with a lot of different lineups, and I do believe that all of our players are able to contribute on the court, whether that's in a starting role or a substitution role. So we're finally getting to the point where right now we've had a starting lineup now for the last 2 weeks or so that has started to cement a little bit more, and on the court you can tell that they've started now to figure out how to play next to each other. If someone has an off day, we're able to make some changes, but I think it's good to finally get to that point now where we're heading into that second half of our really final 3 weeks of our season.
That culminated with that, everybody working together culminated with that 5-set thriller against St. Olaf,
Yes.
nationally ranked. Talk a little more about that, what you saw from the team, and really positive things you took out of that. I mean, to compete at such a high level against such a good program has to be really encouraging.
Yeah, and I think all week we had, last week and a half was really good. And we played stout really tough and played hard all 3 sets. We beat them in 3. And then to go in to face Mac, and Mac is much better than they have been in the past. And, to really beat them, I think we really beat them the first game and a half, and then Mac started to fight back. We end up, finishing the match and battling through it and winning in 4. Awesome to get both of those victories. And then to go into St. Olaf with, most people probably thinking, hey, this is going to be done in 3, and fighting and believing that we can do it. And it really sets the stage for, for the teams that are still nationally ranked. We have 2 left in our conference. We face St. Thomas on Friday. We face Concordia as our last conference match of the year. And I think our girls, since the St. Olaf match, believe that, hey, we can take any one of these teams out. We just have to play hard and play our best.